Months ago, if you're new to the show, 6 months ago, I was in a life that I was really unhappy living, and I was lost, and I was confused, and I was scared, and I knew I was made for more, but I wanted something more for my life, but just didn't know where to start. So, can anybody here relate to that? You want more, you know you're made for more, you just don't know where to start. A and I think that's common with a lot of people. We just tend to get overwhelmed at the thought of changing our lives because typically we have a lot of things that we want to accomplish. We have a lot of dreams, we have a lot of goals, we have a lot of things, and we want to accomplish all the things. But when we think about that, changing everything all at once, it just takes over or consumes us with overwhelm. At least it does for me. And so the good news is you don't have to change anything all at once. You can change your life with one decision. And that one decision is just deciding that you're going to do whatever it takes for as long as it takes, no matter what it is that it takes, until your life looks different, until your life is different with one thing that you want. So I want you to think for just a moment about the one thing that you want to change in your life that you want more than you want to breathe your own air. What is it? Do you want a new job? Do you want to move to a new place? Do you want to lose weight, get healthy, get out of an unhealthy relationship, start saving money, be able to go on vacation more, be able to spend more time with your kids? What is it that you want? And then what is it? Think about a few things that you need to do to make that happen. When I decided to change my life, I had to figure out what I wanted. Like I said, I really didn't know what I wanted. I was in an unhappy place. So I had to figure out what it was that I really wanted. And so for me, decided I wanted out of my unhealthy marriage and I wanted to be closer to my daughter and her family in Las Vegas. Now, I lived in Arkansas, which is on the other side of the country. So change for me meant that I had to leave everything I knew behind and move 1,200 miles across the country. And it was scary, but it was the best thing I ever did. I had to decide if I was going to stay where I was for the rest of my life and be unhappy, or if I was going to step out into the unknown and go after the life I wanted. And I want you to think about that for just a minute. Because if nothing changes, nothing changes. So in 5 years from now, or 10 years,